Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So as I have mentioned in the earlier class that today we are going to know and understand what is business environment. That is unit 3 of 12th class business studies. Okay, it's a very interesting topic and I love the most. This is my favorite topic. Okay, what do you mean by business environment? Business means what? We are dealing with goods or services, okay, which brings us the profit, right? And what is environment? That is the surrounding, right? That is, you can say now business environment means business surrounding, which can have direct or indirect impact on the business policies or strategies. There are different strategies that we use for business. That this year, this is going to be the target of my organization. Suppose, for example, I am the board of director and I am running a company. Okay, so the company deals with production. Now my target of production in a specific remote area, we do the production process in factories, right? So I am dealing with clothing brand. Now clothing brand will need raw materials and all. So we have a factory that do manufacturing in a very remote area. Now there is a change by the government regulation that we have to increase the wages of particular peoples that are working over there. Along with that, the overtiming, or you can say it should be 8 hours of time, not more than that. Overtiming payment will also be not feasible, or you will say that government regulation have said that now the wages should be before it was 150, now it is 180. Okay, and overtiming we provide 10 per hour rate, but they have said strictly that even if you pay 10 per hour when you work more than 8 hours, still it is not valid. It's an illegal and breach of contract. That means that the law now has been regulated to protect the workers. So by saying that we cannot pay more by letting them work more. That means that overtiming is not even possible now for our organization. So there will be an impact, right? So we have to hire more employees now. We have to also understand that now we need more labors, and that too we have to pay before 150, now 180, we have to pay more. That is, our cost is increasing on hiring the labors. Okay, this sort of regulations immediate when there is being implemented by the government, it will have an impact on my organization or any other organization who is working in that particular area. So these are some of the factors that is called the business environment factors, which can have uncontrollable, you can say, impact on the business strategies. Now as the cost has increased, the headache has also increased, and we have to hire more employees now for working. Okay, and then we have to also hire more HR to control, or supervisor to control the workers. That means that what, the cost is increasing, right? And wages is also increasing. That way again I have to make a strategy that how much production we need to do to retain profit, to minimize the cost. So these sort of things are called business environment factors, or you can say components. Okay, so these are constant changes that can happen. It can be slow sometimes and it can be fast, but it will happen. So you need to analyze these factors, which is also you can say SWOT, that is strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. You need to not go in details, but these are some of the frameworks that you have to use in business environment to understand how an organization is working, and we have to also have the probability to understand that there can be changes, so we should be very prepared. Okay, so this is business environment. I just gave an example how business environment can have an impact with the help of legal and government regulation. Now we will go in details about what is business environment, Okay, that I have already explained now. Factors can be government regulation, legal, political, technology, like changes in technology. Before IT sector softwares were not developed, now software is needed in every company. So we made an investment, we made a change. Training and development is required now more, right? For developing the like people who already we have hired before, who were not skills, now have to be skilled in technology. Yes. So changes are constant. These are called business environment factors. I hope you're clear now. We will discuss about the characteristics of business environment now, which I will write it down in the board and then I will explain it with live examples. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so I have write it down the characteristics, that is the 5 points. Now I am going to explain you the 5 points here. Okay, environment is complex. The first point. What do you mean by complex? Complex means complicated. Environment is very complicated. So I have already said legal like government regulation, which have been imposed by saying that now we need to increase the labor charges and also overtiming is not allowed. This is going to be an instant impact that will have on the business, because our strategies and the cost budget that we have made and allocated was based on that wages will be 150. I have given an example, right? Then overtiming was allowed. Same employees we were hiring and they were working. Now we have to also take a headache that we have to hire more employees now. Again, supervisor is also needed because shifts are going to change as manufacturing process is constantly being on the process. There is no stoppage in that. Okay, so these are some of the factors, that is environment factors, which can be very complex in nature, that will impact the business. Okay, you got it now? Now it is said that environment has multi-dimension. That means different dimensions are there. Okay, that means that like suppose for the cost of the wages, it is having a good impact on the peoples, that is social. Okay, employees are now satisfied, overtiming is reduced. Why we do overtiming? Because we need money. But now the wages is increased from 150 to 180. I am giving an example. So it is a good one, right? So we will that way what when the production productivity will increase of a particular person, because that person is not fatigued or exhausted by working overtime. Okay, so that is in some companies it is going to have a good impact. In some companies it is going to have a bad impact. For the large companies it is not going to be a much issues, like if you have a brand image, immediately we can hire. Okay, and then the people will also become very supportive in working. Your output will increase always because you are taken care of by the legal regulations that has been imposed. That is having a good impact on the employee's mindset, that is mental revolution. So in some companies who are large companies who have large budget to invest in such changes will have good impact. However, in small firms it can have a huge impact. So it is multi-dimensional. Sometimes it has a good impact, sometimes it can have a bad impact. Okay. Suppose I am saying that technology has changed, but competitive advantage, that means that you already have those software and technologies like machineries that is going to produce the goods and goods. Okay, like I have a good machinery, technology, software to detect any kind of changes that is required. So we are fast forward. That is competitive advantage my company have in apparel industry. Okay. But however, the other company might have not the same technology. So that technology change or the people that are changing the trend of fashion in apparel industry will have an impact who do not have updated machineries or technology to detect the changes. But I have it, so I am in a competitive advantage. So what do you learn from it? It is multi-dimension. That means one company can have a good impact with the changes, however, other company can have less good impact. That means bad impact. Okay. So environment is not static. The third point. The last point is okay. Let's see the third point. It affects business strategies. That means, as I have explained, what is business environment? It is the uncontrollable factors, right? That can have effect on the business strategies. That means that if my strategy says that I am going to produce this many amount of product today by 8 hours, now if there is a changes, then it can have an impact on the business strategies. Okay, like overtiming, we do overtiming also. Our employees are skilled now, they are doing overtiming and they are producing those target that we have set. Now if the overtiming is being said by the legal law framework that we have to remove that, that means again shift will change, again other employees will come, again that process will have a little bit gap, and then you are again going through the process. Some new employees are coming in, they might not get the certain production process immediately. Okay, it takes time, whether skilled or unskilled, it takes time to adjust into a new environment. So we are going to hire if overtiming is not allowed. That can have an impact on the business strategies. Okay. Now environment is only partially controllable. That means that it can be controlled partially. Half of it we can control. But sometimes, suppose a social status says that there was a belief, value and a custom of a particular society, that in that society, before there was no society, suppose I am going to I have a business of wine or cigarettes, okay, which are not allowed in certain society. Now where I have operated the business, there I would say people were very remote areas, less people, it was developing, so there were no such restrictions to operate the business. Now the changes is there is a university, because universities are always being opened and operated in very remote areas where the crowds are less. It becomes very peaceful for the education purpose, right? Now what happens is my wine shop and my cigarette shop is right over there. Okay, I have invested, and now as it was developing, university has been established over there. Now what I have to do? The social belief values have changed by the particular regulatory board over the university. That is a legal process where it's been said that if society doesn't want that kind of operation business, and if the government also says, legal laws also says that you cannot operate like wine shop near a university or like college. So what you have to do? You have to change it. Now when you change it, you are having a flow of business, it will stop for certain while you have to go and operate in some other places. You have to search for the infrastructure, you have to search for the place where it can be marketed, it will be beneficial. So these things are called partially controllable. That means that some things are controllable whereas some things are not. That means this kind of social changes can have an impact on the business which is not controllable. It can be in one day only you have to shut your business. That will have an impact. In some cases you can control. Like competition, you have, for example, there is going to be a new setup in our country from China, suppose. That is a China company and that is going to have a setup on India. You already know that they are going to set up. So it will take at least 1 year to set up. How about you go and check and analyze what are the business strategies they are implementing and what is their product quality, how you can gain competitive advantages over those product quality that is going of a particular company of China that is coming to India to be established in 1 year. You have 1 year. You can control and make the changes and set your business upper than the company that is going to come and establish in the next 1 year. This can be controllable. Okay? I hope you got the difference. And then not static. That means that it is not stable. Environment is constantly changing, whether it is in fast pace or slow. Slow pace means that I have said a company is going to come from China to India, which is my competition, but in 1 year. That means it's a slow pace. Okay, we can take we can build a brand image or a goodwill of the company by 1 year among the customers. We can retain the customers. Okay, we can work hard and make some changes, and we can gain a competitive advantages till the company comes and establishes in India by next year. We have time. That is slow pace. However, fast pace means like I am establishing and operating a business already, that is for cigarettes and wine shop. Now the university has right away have said that we have taken a plot now, we will establish a university now. Legal framework says that you have to remove the shop right away. That means shutting down. It is a fast pace. This is also little bit medium pace only. How fast pace means right away in 1 day government has been changed. Now new government has come. Law has been passed that you have to only make the workers work for 8 hours, not more than that. Overtiming is not allowed now. Wages should be 180, before it was 150. This is called fast pace. You have to change it immediately. There is no other options. If you are a large company, you can, or if you have a small company, you will sustain major loss. So these are some of the factors of business environment. Characteristics. Okay, factors I will explain you. From there you will understand more. But with example, you have already, I might have an idea that you already have an clear vision about what is the business environment and the characteristics. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the importance of business environment. Then the last one will be the components, and we will end this chapter. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so now I have written down the importance. Let me tell you one thing. This is very basic that I am going to teach you, is the factors in the business environment. But in business, to analyze the business environment, like what can be the threat, what is the opportunities that are coming, okay, that is market analysis. And then you can say strength. What are the existing strength, that is competitive advantage, which means that suppose I am a company, I am very technologically advanced. That means a competitive advantage I have as compared to the competitions. That is my other organizations, not my other organizations. I am an apparel industry CEO, so that is my company. My industry focus on fashion brands. Okay, fashion. Now my competitive advantages, I am using high technology and advanced skillful people who is very updated in software, which helps in finding out the threats, like what can be like economic, if there is changes, political, legal, or suppose a competition, okay, that is coming and entering into my zone, that will be analyzed with the softwares. That means I am having a competitive advantage. Okay, so that framework is called SWOT framework. I am just giving, you don't have to learn SWOT now, that is a vast process. I am just giving you an overview about SWOT, because that will help you understand how business environment works. Business works, okay, in a certain environment. That means strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. This framework, when you use it, you will understand what are the factors that are going to have a good impact on my company, what are the factors that can be a threat in future in my company. That way, if I consistently analyze, I might not face the immediate problem that can come or approach my industry and have an impact on my business. Okay, so cut this out now. Let's focus on the importance. I just explained you about SWOT because that will help you understand the importance of business environment. Identifying the opportunities. Business environment helps in a certain environment when you are operating. This business environment helps in seeking for opportunities. That means when you do this kind of framework analysis, you come up with an idea that in this particular area, suppose I am saying I am in apparel industry, right? I have came up with I work in fashion brand now, which is Western fashion. Now I came up with an idea when I was working in a certain social platform where I would say I am established in a remote area. Now I came up with an idea that people are demanding traditional clothes. How about now I make a change, do the market analysis, and then target those remote or small areas where people are demanding traditional clothes. Okay, so that is called opportunities. That means this business environment helps in analyzing that what can be the opportunities, what can be also the threats. For example, again, here it is given an example that Maruti Udyog became the leader in the small car sector. Why it became the leader? Because they have first only they recognized the small cars environment is rising rapidly because middle class people are in that time are actually demanding for cars for convenient purpose. Okay, so middle class people always seek for middle class goods only, you are a middle class, so you will always see the price before buying. We are not high class peoples, we always see the price. So price, convenient, and what is the demand now of the peoples, this can be analyzed with the help of only business environment. So business environments helps in identifying the opportunities. It is not always a threat. It can be also a positive impact as well in business. Okay. Now the second says detecting threats. As I have already said, that means in 1 year now I came to know that China is entering into my market. I know the threat is westernization. I am in apparel industry, so western clothings and their clothings are very cheap. Okay, in cheapest price they can sell it. Apart from that, it is also very fashionable. So what can be the alternative that you can do to build a goodwill in 1 year before that threat come and enter your market? Then I have said opportunity. What was opportunity? Remote areas. In remote areas, in small towns, people still demand traditional clothes, or I would say clothes of Indian peoples, and the taste and preference of China or Korea is very different. It is a body type that will create a demand. So I am from India only. I know our body type and what is the culture, value, beliefs, and what kind of Western clothes are fit into our body, and then what also the Indian clothes that we can focus on, right, in demand. So that is what. That was a threat. Threat is that the company is coming, which is good in apparel industry with Western clothes from China. However, opportunity is I am from India and I know the taste and preference, values and beliefs of my people, that is the customers. Social. Okay. So there can be opportunities, there can be threats also. Goodwill building. That means that suppose I am building a goodwill of westernization clothes. Now I have made a change according to the taste and preference of people that I will also focus on Indian clothing and all. That will create a goodwill and a value that yes, as I am from India, I am also valuing the taste and culture and the custom of Indian peoples. That will increase my goodwill, brand image. Okay, and a positivity in the eyes of the customers. Okay, improving performances. This also helps in improving the performances, business environment. So when you know there is a threat coming, you will work more to come up with a competitive advantage. What is competitive advantage? Again, I am repeating. That means that you have some specific unique product or some qualities that is not adopted or you can say left by other competitors. Okay. Now planning and policy formulation. You can change the planning process, strategies, policies of a certain business. I as a CEO can change the policies and the strategies of a business as per the environmental factors. That means if there is a demand by a political party that I need to increase the I would say the wages or legal framework has been imposed by the political party, this government, then I need to reduce the overtime. That means I have to actually close this chapter of overtiming for the laborers, and now I have to increase the charges of the laborers also, so that they do not feel uncomfortable. Okay, so that is called planning and policy changes, that I have to constantly remind myself that I have to change according to the demand of the particular factors, that is like political, what is the political need, government need, what is I would say legal need, okay, and then also social, like what are the taste and preference of particular like custom belief of certain customers. Technology changes, if there is need, then I have to also change the technology to I would say increase my goodwill and my performance in particular sector. So business environment is not only a threat, I would say business environment is always an opportunity. Factors can be a threat, but however that factors, if you effectively change and you are not adamant to change, but you are like willing, you are not adamant and you are willing to change as per the needs of the factors of the components, it can be a very positive factor that can have a very good impact on your business policies. Small sector has a drawback because you need budget capital to make changes rapidly. However, a larger sector will always benefit from business environment. I hope you got the overall point about what is business environment, the characteristics and importance of business environment in a business. Okay, this is the end of this particular video. Components of business environment. Right away I am making another video. Okay, so the video the time is increasing. I have explained about the characteristics. I took lots of time to explain with live example business environment, characteristics and importance. I hope you were very clear about it. Now I think you are also clear about the factors, but however again I am going to explain the factors with examples. Okay, that I am doing it in the next video. You want to check the basic part, you can check in the unit 1 first video, and then the major components I am going to make another video where you can right away go and check only the components. Okay, I hope you are liking my videos. I am going to end this video now with the last, that is importance of business environment that I have explained now. Okay, and for more such videos, do not forget to like, subscribe and share with your friends and family members. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.